You thought I was going to wake up to an alarm. Never wake up to an alarm. In fact, that is the worst way to start your day because you're not going to have energy. If you want to have energy, wake up with the sun. Right now it's 8 a.m. and we're about to go do our morning routine because the way you start your morning is the way you're going to finish your day and continue the rest of the day. If you don't have routines set in place to get things done, you're never going to be productive. You're never going to have a clear mind. You're never going to have energy later in the day. And you're not going to be able to repeat things over and over again to have consistency in your life. Because the truth is, consistency will beat everything else out. Hard work, determination. But if you're consistent, you're going to win at the end. So you need to have a routine in place to be consistent every single day. And this is why I do this morning routine. And I'm going to show you exactly what I do. So like you just saw, we got out of bed, no alarm. And to start the day, you want to do two things. Two things specifically. One, you want to hydrate because when you're sleeping, you actually lose a ton of electrolytes. So we got Mountain Valley Spring Water, which has a bunch of electrolytes, but what it doesn't have is sodium. So we got a mineral-based salt and some water. So the first thing you want to do when you wake up, I'm going to repeat this 5 times for you guys because I know a lot of people who don't do this, and it is the most important thing you can do in the morning. Well, top 2 things you can do in the morning. I'll show you what we're about to do next, but salt, pinch of salt in the mouth. Hydration. Don't start your morning with some coffee, with some sugar, with some carbs. You are asking to have a shit day. The second important thing is getting sun on the eyelids. This resets your circadian rhythm. A lot of people, when they wake up in the morning, they look at their phone, they look at a computer, they look at a TV. You are destroying your brain. You want to wake up in the morning, hydrate immediately, and go out and look at the sun. Think about it. What would our ancestors do? They wouldn't wake up and look at a phone. They didn't have a phone. They'd wake up to the sunrise. They would look at the sunrise. They would drink water, and then they would go hunt for food. That's exactly how you should lay out your morning. Hydrate, look at the sun, fast, and optimize everything else so that you can have a proper day. That's why, wake up, look at the sun. The ball of energy transfers energy from the sun to you so you can crush the day. Stretching is also something that's very important. As you can see, I'm grounding and stretching. In the morning, you're probably tense from laying in the sun. So, really want to stretch out the body, get it loose for the day. Make sure everything's functioning properly so that you're not a stiff board. This is the hack. If you're not stretching, if you're not getting loose in the morning, you're not optimizing blood flow, and you're not optimizing blood flow, you're not thinking properly. You got to think about all these things to function like a proper human. And as you know, running isn't even an option for me. I don't want to spike my cortisol in the morning. I don't want to go in a catabolic state, especially when I'm not eating any food. So running is the worst thing you can do when you wake up. So after I do all those things, hydrate, sun, stretch, then I go for a 3 to 4 mile walk. Now, if you don't have time for that, do a 2-mile walk, 1.5 mile walk. But getting some sort of walking in the morning before you actually look at your phone is the best way to decrease your cortisol, especially in nature. If you're walking on a treadmill, not the same. But when you're out in nature and you're grounding, and then you go for a walk, your cortisol is gonna go to zero. And that's the goal, because when your cortisol is at zero, your testosterone can go higher. That's why so many people have low testosterone, because their cortisol is so high and it just brings down your testosterone. So when you optimize your routine like this, and then you train heavy, and you eat a good diet, and you do all these other things, your testosterone is gonna be high as shit. So we're about to go for this high test walk, and then you'll see what we do next. So we're back from that walk. It's been about an hour and a half since we started the morning routine. Now, for most of you guys, you could end your routine here, because now we're just gonna make coffee and maybe wait like 15 more minutes to drink it, because ideally I wait like an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours, because you want to let your adenosine glands really drop off before you have coffee, or else you're going to increase your cortisol. That's a whole nother video if I wanted to make it. But just know, do not drink your coffee right away. Wait an hour and a half to 2 hours at least. So now we're going to make some coffee, and the only coffee I use, or the only coffee beans I use, are organic, non-GMO, non-glyphosate sprayed beans. So we got some Sierra Blend ground, organic, from Whole Foods. This isn't the brand I always get. I actually get a more local brand that's even better, but this is still really good stuff. The only issue, the only non-biohacking thing that I do use is this coffee machine, because I don't have anything else. I really should get something, because I'm definitely getting microplastics. Roast me in the comments if you want. I know I'm a soy boy. And I like to think, like, for every soy boy activity that I do, like this microplastic coffee machine, it just cancels out one of the test maxing steps. So this cancels out the grounding, but we still got the vitamin D, we got the cortisol free walk. Like, we're still boosting our test, but obviously this isn't helping our test in any sort of way. But it is what it is. But this is the real secret. The real secret that you guys need to implement. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know every single morning I have coffee. But with my coffee, I don't have creamer, I don't have sugar, I don't have stevia, any of this bullshit that people put in their coffees. What I put in my coffee is different. I put raw butter. Look at that. That is some high quality butter. As raw as it gets from an Amish farm. So we get about that much, kind of a lot, but we walked it off, and we're getting sun, so cholesterol protects your skin from the sun. So cholesterol, you want to start your morning with some butter coffee if you can. Elite nutrients, vitamin A, vitamin K, cholesterol, bunch of other things. Butter is a superfood, especially when it's raw butter. So we put that in the coffee, and it makes the coffee taste good. It gets you hella nutrients, boosts the test. So it's just another test booster that we're adding into the regimen. So my skincare routine is pretty simple. It's nothing, complex. All you need is ice to ice your face, just to decrease inflammation, increase skin tightness, all the good stuff. So we usually do that for like 5 minutes. And then once you let that, I usually let it air dry. Maybe I'll just pat off the bottom. I'll pat it off for this video, but once we ice the face, we grab our beef tallow. This is a company called Sacred Tallow. It's just beef tallow, extra virgin coconut oil, yellow beeswax, bunch of good ingredients. So just grab this and we put it on our face. Good old beef tallow. A lot of people think you need like some fancy skincare routine. It's all diet at the end of the day. I used to have very bad acne. I'll even pop up a picture if I can find one. But my acne was terrible, and that's when I was using a moisturizer, a cleanser, anti-acne medication, but my diet was shit. Because if you have acne, it's just a sign of your gut health. So you need to fix your gut health through your diet, and then you don't really even need a skincare routine. I just do this to keep my skin glowing, keep it hydrated, and make it as optimal as possible. But this is really all you need: beef tallow, some ice, and yeah, maybe like, I mean, that's really it. I don't know what else you would need for a skincare routine. This is like the most primal skincare routine you can get, but it's that simple. Nothing complex, nothing fancy. Beef tallow, ice, boom. Holy shit. Guys, the cut is working. This is what happens when you walk every single morning. Now, we just sip the coffee, the butter coffee, in the sun for optimal energy and all kinds of stuff. Cholesterol, you name it. What you can do, if you are able to add this in your routine, you can sun your balls. Get your testes some vitamin D. It does boost your testosterone a ton though. I will warn you of that. So I'll do like 5 sets of 2 minutes with like a 2-minute rest in between each set, and that will get your testosterone to another level, trust. But don't do this if you have an apartment, if you're at like public area, like don't do that. But if you have the opportunity to, definitely try to, because it will boost your test. So get some sun right now, sip on this coffee, and I'll show you guys the last part of the routine because we're almost done. Really only like a 30-minute or 15-minute routine. Really only a hour and a half routine. It doesn't take you that long. The biggest chunk of the routine is the walk, but you can minimize the walk if you want to. If you want to make it a 20-minute walk, you can make it a 20-minute walk. If you want to make it an hour walk, you can make it an hour walk. It's really dependent on how much time you have and what you have to do, later in the day. If you got to work, if you got to go run errands or whatever it may be, like optimize your routine around you. You can't use this routine because it might not fit you the best. I might not be able to use your routine because it wouldn't work for me. Like you gotta, that's why it's called like a personalized routine. You have to do it for you. And the last thing that's on my routine after I drink the coffee is read. I actually read for about 10-15 minutes if I can, if I got time, and then I'll actually go into work. I think reading every day not only just improves your ability to write, ability to communicate, but it's good for the brain and relaxes your dopamine as opposed to, looking at your phone and stuff. So I'm reading this book now, just finished this book, Buy Back Your Time. It's a solid book. If you're a business owner, definitely read it. And then right now we're reading Super Communicators. It's a pretty good book. We're only about 20 pages in. Just started this like 2 days ago. But that's pretty much the routine. Like nothing complex, just optimizing for high testosterone, low dopamine activities to really get the brain in a flow state so that, when I got to do all this work, when I got to check in with my clients, all that stuff, I'm as efficient and focused as possible. And if you do this routine, I guarantee you that you will feel the exact same way because it's the most optimal routine for your hormones. Trust me, I've done so many routines in the past. I used to not have any routines at all. And I can tell you, if you do a routine, even if it's, 15, 20 minutes, even if it's a 5-minute routine, like do it and be consistent with it because that consistency is going to stack up over time, like I said before. And, consistency isn't some like additional thing. It's a multiplication thing. Like it compounds. There's actually a book called The Compounding Effect, and it talks about how things just compound over time through your consistency. So be as consistent as possible with things like routines, with things like going to the gym, eating healthy, because it's going to stack up over time and it's going to make you the best version of yourself. And that's the goal, to level up every single day and to become the next level. Because the truth is, you at the next level suck. When you look at yourself right now and you look at yourself at the next level, you gotta understand that where you are right now compared to that next level, you suck at. So you gotta be consistent with all these things, adapt the mindset to where you wanna be in 6 months right now, and that's gonna make you level up. With the routines, with the diet, with the training, with the mindset shift, you do all these things. And that's why I've been able to progress so much in the past 6 months, 8 months, a year. A year ago, I graduated college, and now I own, a massive, business that's getting close to doing almost $1 million a year. Like, we're just scaling more and more, all because of the inputs that I do every single day and being as consistent as possible. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. You got to do whatever it takes. And if you're someone who wants to level up, you got to be consistent. And if you're looking for someone to keep you consistent, to keep you accountable, and to level up as quick as possible, book a call with me in the link in the description of this video, and I'll see if you're a good fit for my one-on-one program where we have weekly calls. We'll build out plans for you, build out routines for you to get you to the next level. Because that's the most important thing. It's not about just, getting jacked, getting high tests. It's about going to that next level, because everyone wants to level up, but not a lot of people are willing to do the work every single day to get there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and comment what videos you want next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.